Hi there everyone, my name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. If you're one of my regular viewers, you know that I just did three brand new releases. Now I'm going to go back and do small stuff. So we're going to do another triple shot, and we are starting this triple shot of GNR, baby. That's right. R&R from GNR. Triple shot. I'm not sure why this is in there that way, but you know what? You can read it a little easier than the normal upside down and backwards thanks to camera reversing. Anyways. Believe it or not, this is the second time I've recorded this review. Apparently I lost the footage somewhere. I recorded a review for this one and Illusion 2 already. I gotta redo them. No big deal. So, let's see how this goes. We're gonna try and I'm gonna actually speed through this a little faster than I did last time. I like both Illusions. I have a certain appreciation for them. However, realistically, I definitely want to mix them differently on which songs. Excuse me, on which album. The first Illusion album is broken down into side 1, which is like a punk side, and side 2, which is more of a rock and roll kind of side. If you were able to get the vinyl, and I think it's been reissued on vinyl since, it is a double vinyl. So technically this is actually a double album. It would be one album of punk, one album of rock, and then, you get to the next Illusion. So, let's get into the punk side of this. Okay, album opens up with Right Next Door to Hell. That's where I want to be. I said, right next door to hell. A fun way to open up the album. It gets it moving, it gets it kicking, it gets it flowing. It does exactly what you need it to do. Is it a great song? No. Is it a good song? It's not a bad song. It's not. I throw the album on and let it start there. That goes on to Dust and Bones. Now, I like Dust and Bones, and sticking Dust and Bones in here where they did right after Right Next Door to Hell actually kind of works in Dust and Bones' favor. Because this one's not, it's punkish, but not really punkish. This one's kind of got like a cool slow groove to it. It's one of those songs I just personally enjoy. I really get into. But if I remember correctly, I think it's a heavy Duff song, and I've got a small love affair with Duff. Not as the bassist for Guns N' Roses. I mean, yeah, Duff as a bassist is really cool. I've even seen Duff live, not with GNR, not with Velvet Revolver, but I got to see Duff with Kings of Chaos, and that was fucking awesome. Got to see him, Gilby, and Matt Sorum together on stage, along with some other amazing names in music. Kings of Chaos, you gotta check it out, man. Greatest frickin' super band. Greatest cover super band. And I would really like to see more Kings of Chaos. Personally, I'd like to see them go back out on tour again. Alright. After Dust and Bones, we get into Live and Let Die. The Paul McCartney song from the James Bond movie. I enjoy the song, though. I actually like the GNR version better than the Paul McCartney version, just because it's heavier. It's got more... and it's a great live track when you watch concerts of them playing it live and the lights get going and everything. It's awesome looking. From there, we go into Don't Cry. Now, I know I said the first album was punk. This part takes away from it. Don't Cry... I've never really particularly cared for the song, and given a choice between Don't Cry, the original version, which is on here, or Don't Cry alternative lyrics, which is on Illusion 2, spoilers, I prefer the version on Illusion 2. And I know I'm not the only one. There's actually a lot of people that do. I just think the lyrics are better. Now, this version, I find the lyrics too whiny and too just annoying. I think that's really what it comes down to. And the amount that this song got overplayed, oh my lord, it got so horribly overplayed. The only thing cool, though, is the video. It had a cool music video. The Axl Rose show, as I like to call it. And my favorite of all the Guns N' Roses joke, the big sign, "Where's Izzy?" From there, we go into Perfect Crime. Perfect Crime's not bad. I don't really have much of an opinion really off of Perfect Crime. You Ain't the First is honestly kind of really weak. Not a song I would have put on here. You Ain't the First is also kind of like Dust and Bones. It's got kind of more of that slidey, slow kind of. I don't want to say country, but we'll say more acousticy kind of vibe. Then we get into Bad Obsession. Bad Obsession might actually be one of my favorite songs off of the first side. It's probably the only, like, realistically, if I throw in the CD and I just want to let it play while I'm doing stuff, I will actually some days go straight to track 7 and let it play starting at track 7. Because that's the first song I really get into having fun and singing myself. That leads into Back Off Bitch. I don't mind the song. I think it's a good song. In today's opinions, today's views, stuff like that, it might be taken the wrong way because of some of the lyrical content. But if Elton John can write a song called "The Bitch Is Back," Guns N' Roses, and still perform it to this day, Guns N' Roses can write a song called "Back Off Bitch" and still perform it to this day, as far as I'm concerned. And then side 1 would finish with Double Talk and Jive, "Get the money, motherfucker, cause I got no more patience." Alright, now, if you had the cassette or if you've got vinyls, if you're anything like I was, you just skip side 1, you go straight to side 2. Problem is, side 2 starts off with November Rain. Now, I have an interesting view on just this album. If you left just the songs on this album the way they are on this album, the way I see it is this album actually should have started with November Rain. It would have started this album off perfectly, especially with the way they end this album. Now, I understand why they mixed it the way they did, and I'll explain as I go. But with November Rain, just that opening with that piano, that opening piano that boop, had been right there at the beginning of this album, and then they had gone into it and whatnot, it really would have set a completely different tone for this album than what it does. And for me, I think kicking off with so much punk or basic rock at the beginning of the album and then going into much stronger material in the second half, it doesn't work for me. I think they should have mixed it around a little bit better. I think they should have balanced it out a little bit better. November Rain definitely should have been the first song on the album, especially with the way they finished the album. It would have had this great super strong start, and this great super strong end, and a nice run in the middle. Now, all that being said, as much as it sounds like I'm praising November Rain, if the song comes on the radio, I turn it the hell off because I have heard it way too many times. Man, now, the bright side is at least when they would play the full-length video, it would be great. When they would play the short-length video or the radio edit or the shorter version, it sucks. There's no point in putting on November Rain if you're not going to play the full version. End of story. Even the video, there was no point in putting on the video even if they weren't going to do the full video because, it was so much better that way. Even if nobody in the band knows what the fuck the video's about. Otherwise, though, November Rain is an amazing song. It really is. As much as I'm not a fan, I totally get why everybody is. From there, we go into The Garden. Now, you would think, this is a song featuring Alice Cooper. I'm instantly going to love it. I have an issue with this song. And any song that Alice Cooper appeared on in the 90s that was not an Alice Cooper song itself. They were always horrible cliches of Alice, or self-parodies of Alice, it felt. Alice likes to talk about the Alice sneer, the Alice snarl. When Alice does his own songs, it always works great. When you listen to The Garden, I absolutely do enjoy The Garden. I think it's great. Listening to Alice, I like it a lot more now than I did as a teenager. As a teenager, I absolutely loathed it because I didn't like Alice Cooper's part in it. I didn't like Alice doing, like I call it, a self-parody of himself, where he's taking the Alice persona and he's cranking up to 100 because he's on somebody else's album and somebody wants the Alice Cooper experience. Now, that's a lot of my teenage, and even into my 20s, good part of my 30s even. Even now, I still hold part of that perspective because I can still hear it. It's same with Rob Zombie's Hands of Death, Burn Baby Burn. Alice sounds more of a parody of Alice than he does, like, it's like watching Robert De Niro doing the "Are you looking at me" thing, but not in, Taxi, right? But I really do appreciate The Garden. I do like how dark it is. I do like how, like Alice is the right person. I just wish they would have done it a little bit differently with Alice. Then we go into Garden of Eden. Lost in the Garden of Eden, we're lost in the Garden of Eden, no one's gonna believe it, we're lost in the Garden of Eden. You gotta watch the video, man. One-shot video, thing bouncing across the screen, doing the lyrics, it's basically almost a rap song with how fast the Axl's busting it out. I didn't care for Garden of Eden as much either as a teenager. I enjoy it a lot more now. The one thing I do like about Garden of Eden, though, is at this point in the album, it's the perfect song. At this, November Rain, slow start up. The Garden's still kind of, it's not fast, it's not high pace. It's got kind of a dark, mellow, gothy kind of groove to it. And then you get to Garden of Eden, all of a sudden it's like, boom! Whoa! Firing on all cylinders again. And I mean, we're talking major high-octane nitrous firing on all cylinders. And that goes into Don't Damn Me. I do musically enjoy Don't Damn Me. I don't even mind the lyrics. The problem I've got with Don't Damn Me is Don't Damn Me basically is like a very cliche Guns N' Roses kind of song at this point. Because at this point, you've already had Out to Get Me. And even on this own album, where you've had You Ain't the First, it's kind of, that attitude. And then on Illusion 2, there's even, a song or two where it's just like, that goes into Bad Apples. I don't mind Bad Apples. It's a great, song going in this flow. It's not a great song in general. It's a good song. It's a solid song. Not my first choice, but I don't mind it. And then honestly, the album finishes with my two favorite songs. The first one is Dead Horse. I absolutely love Dead Horse. Dead Horse is the ultimate get over the bitch after you broke up with her song. Women, I'm not calling you bitches. I'm referring to exes, That, it works the same way with chicks when you break up with guys. It's the perfect the asshole's out of my fucking life song. The bastard's out of my life song. Well, for me, in my perspective as a straight male, it's, the bitch is gone. But I really like Dead Horse. The other reason I also love Dead Horse is the perfect setup to the last song on the album. And the last song on the album is not only my favorite song, by far my favorite song on this album, is definitely top 5 Guns N' Roses, quite possibly top 3 Guns N' Roses for me. And I think in some cases it is one of the most overlooked Guns N' Roses songs, and in other cases it might be the most overglorified Guns N' Roses song. I know there's a few people like me that absolutely love this song. And the reason why is this is a giant spiraling epic that really encaptures the concept of what one might feel like it's like in a coma. And, realistically, Axl Rose was totally a depressed motherfucker when these two albums were done. That's without a doubt. And Coma's a good example of that. that whole complete disconnect. When he's in there singing about floating away and everything else, like, you just can't help but want to float away with him, It's just that cool. And I'll be honest, man, I love the bass on this one. Which I think they might have borrowed in part a little bit from Alice Cooper's Dead Babies, just a smidge. But Coma's a fantastic song. Absolutely. I could never put together a Guns N' Roses best of or a mixtape or anything like that and leave Coma out. I can't. I just can't do it. Who makes mixtapes anymore? I'm so old! But no, seriously, I can't go without Coma. Coma is a great song. Even now, as I've had it on my MP3 player to go through, listen to the album, to do the reviews, in all honesty, most of these songs I've listened to this album so many times, I've had it for honestly, almost 30 years. Oh shit, man, 30 years. 1991. This album came out in 1991. I have had a copy of this album for 30 damn years now. Holy shit. Actually, I think it was recorded in 91, released in 92. I bought it for the first time in 92. I know for a fact I bought it for the first time in 92. So I'm going to say 29 years I've had some variation of this album now, man. That says something. Definitely says something. Fantastic album. Pick it up. Pick it up. Even if it is just for Coma, pick it up. The whole way around, though, really, I think it's an album worth having. I think it's an album worth listening to from beginning to end, especially because of the two different sides of it. And if you're more into the more rocky, punky, in-your-face aggressive stuff, the first half is great. I just like the more epic-y side of the second half of the album. Anyways, those are my views. Let me know what your views are. That's what the comment section's for. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to share this, that'd be cool too. Otherwise, peace, love, take care, and I'll see you in Illusion 2.